When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, what's going on, Boise State fans? BJ Rains and Jay Tust with you. I got the Circa Resort and Casino hat on, Jay, because media days are upon us. I'll actually be sneaking down a few days early this weekend with my wife. Gambling and poolside fixing before media days next week. So excited to get down to Las Vegas. One of those days, as you know, Jay, right before you're on the cusp of a little short break from work where your day is going to seem long trying to push through. But it's Friday. Hope everybody's in a good mood. This is Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. And that is Jay Tust, sports director over at KTVB, who gives up a little bit of his morning twice a week to come on with us, and we really appreciate it. Jay, what's up, man?
How's it going?
It's going good.
Friday, right?
It is, and as I said the other day, we were testing out new cameras. We now have a new mixer here. Folks can see this. We're going 4 channels now. We're upgrading the equipment. We got a lot of other cool stuff for media days. Had a little small 2 mixer before that got us through the first 6 months of BNN, but getting ready for media days. We're upgrading the equipment, so hopefully the audio sounds okay if folks can hear us okay. But yeah, excited to get down to Las Vegas, and we talked off air. We can officially announce that both mornings of media days, Jay will be joining me live. So we'll do a live 30-minute show both Wednesday and Thursday morning ahead of the days of coverage there in Las Vegas. And then you'll have coverage all throughout the couple of days on KTVB, you and Will Hall. And then we'll reconvene the next day and do it again. So Wednesday and Thursday will be Jay's appearances next week live from the Mandalay Bay. First time over at the Mandalay Bay this year. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like.
I only agreed to this because we are going to Las Vegas during what is literally the slowest sports time of the year.
How about that?
I'm kind of bummed. I'm not going to lie, kind of bummed.
I don't think it's ever happened before where the All-Star break is happening. No. So there might be some WNBA stuff for you to bet on.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, there we go. But it's usually the day or two after the All-Star break is usually like one of the slowest days of the entire year on the sports calendar. So there will be a lot of extracurriculars for us to be paying attention to.
I told you I'm going down early, so if you want me to put some money on your dude in the home run derby
Julio
on Monday night, maybe we can get a Pujols Julio final. How about that?
That'd be cool. I'd take it. I mean, you lose.
Get against the old guy. I mean, yeah.
With this new format, with this new format, Albert's going to run out of gas.
Probably so, yes. But I would say that his bat speed right now is perfect for a BP fastball. So,
okay.
I wouldn't put up a show and maybe get past Kyle Schwarber in the first round. But yes, I would be very surprised. What is it? 3 minutes still? Is it still a time thing where you just hit as many as you can?
Oh yeah, it's the time. Yeah, it's the timed version. So.
Okay. Well, we already have folks chiming in, calling for Taylon Green here at 9:04 in the morning on a Friday. If we don't get Taylon Green, there needs to be a coaching change with 3 exclamation points.
Wow, Kurt, bringing it.
Road chill. I don't know about all that, but if there's even a hint of last season, they have to make a change. So Hank Bachmeier not getting very strong. All I put was that we were going to talk about Hank Bachmeier, and before I can even talk about what we're talking about with Hank Bachmeier, we get folks that are all of a sudden just taking shots at Hank Bachmeier. We should officially welcome back Rudy, by the way. I incorrectly blocked him from the channel, and he couldn't comment for the last couple of while, but there he is. So he must have figured something out. Rudy, welcome back. Sorry about that. There's a vote for Hank. I like Hank. We are going to talk Hank Bachmeier and kind of, with media days and him not going and him not being on the ballot and all that stuff. I think there's some conspiracy theories and things out there that I would like to touch on and debunk. We are going to talk about the Mountain West football schedules being released for the next 3 years as well. But I actually want to start off quickly with a little bit of basketball. We were over there, Jay, on, was it Wednesday, I guess, talking to some of the former players who are back in town for the TBT, the basketball tournament. By the way, I don't know if you got this from Derek Marks, but he slipped up in our interview with him, and we'll hear it maybe on Monday. He alluded to the TBT maybe wanting to have one of the regionals in Boise next year. Would that be cool? You're muted.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And
you heard that?
I honestly don't know if that was a slip up. Like there's significant talk about that. And
yeah, I just don't know if they should have probably made that public or not. But he basically, I asked if this was going to become a yearly thing, or the goal was to become a yearly thing, and it is. And Derek Marks said, well, one of the reasons is, next year they're talking about doing a regional in Boise, and it seems natural that we would be in it if that were the case.
I thought this was kind of a cool concept from the get-go, BJ, but I didn't realize like the potential of that it really does have. And talking with Thomas Broplay, he wants to turn this thing into like an alumni week every summer. Like how cool would that be? And like the other day we were out there, Chibuzo Agbo is going to be a big part of this team over the next couple of years moving forward. He's sitting out there keeping score. Like what better way to get an introduction to the Boise State men's basketball program than having like the legends of yesteryear come back and teach you about it firsthand, right?
And that's what big programs do and have, where they have enough of those kind of pro star alumni to come back for a week, and you can organize it in the future around some camps and things. Maybe do a public scrimmage where fans can raise money, pay money. I know they can't pull it off this year of having the public come, but I know, tomorrow there's going to be a scrimmage, basically with the what's here of the current team and this TBT team to help them get ready. So there's some schools that do these as part of the Leon Rice basketball camp, or you could even maybe next year do this where you sell tickets and raise money. I brought that up, but apparently it was just too late to do that. Maybe half the money goes to charity, half goes to the TBT team for their expenses. There's a lot of ways to do it, but I agree. A whole week of having these guys back in town. I mean, I got the video the other day, and I know you were there too, but I mean, Derek Marks was kind of walking through, and Leon was showing him all the upgrades to the facility and stuff, and all these guys were laughing and joking, and it was just felt like old times back in there with some of those guys. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They've all matured. I remember when Derek was a 17-year-old kid arriving on campus, and now he's a 28-year-old that has had a highly successful overseas professional basketball career. That the same goes for Ryan Watkins, who has made a very nice living, playing basketball in China. It's cool to see these guys come back. I would expect something with the TBT coming to Boise. Like just hearing, these guys kind of talk about it. That's the ultimate goal. And man, how cool would it be? I know you said it was too late this year, but how cool would it be if they did something like that in the future where there was an open scrimmage for fans to attend? This is kind of like the last little lull in the schedule before, football really starts to ramp up. If they could fill that void, it would be incredible, I think. And I mean, BJ, how many times, like whether it be, either, on BNN or just sitting courtside joking around, would we ask ourselves or debate who would win, the 2022 NCAA Broncos or the 2015 NCAA Broncos or the 2013 Broncos, And like
how did Ryan Watkins compare to, Milad Narmouche on the glass?
It's literally something that like we could kind of get like an answer to. And I know these guys are older. Maybe they've lost a touch of athleticism, but they're also way wiser. So you kind of have like the savvy veteran presence against the younger guys. I think it would be entertaining as all heck. I think it would be something that would be really, really cool to arrange in the future.
Well, with full transparency, I cut off this Thomas Broplay interview pretty quickly because Porter Mosier, the Oklahoma coach, kept calling me, and I had to take the call. I do some off-season work for Lindy's magazine, so I wish I could talk longer to Thomas. I didn't get into as detail as you did on some of the alumni things and things like that. Folks can go to, I assume, the KTVB YouTube channel or follow you on social media to see your interview with Thomas Broplay, which was more complete. And so I had to cut it short, but this is about 90 seconds. Let's just hear a couple of quick comments from Thomas talking about being back for the first time since 2015 back in Boise.
It feels great, man. It's been a while, 7 years, so it's good to connect with the city, with my brothers and everybody within the Boise State athletic department. So to see the familiar faces, man, it's like, oh man, what happened? Everybody's older, so it's really nice.
And we see you guys all laughing and joking around. I mean, I know you don't know everybody, but you know most of the guys. It's been pretty fun just to get back together again.
Yeah, for sure. It's so great. It's so great, man. It's a breath of fresh air during the summer, middle of the summer, when all we're doing is training and getting ready for the next year. So this is going to be great for the city and great for us as well.
To put that blue and orange Bronco practice jersey on again. I mean, you're where you're at in your career and stuff because of your time at Boise State and Coach Rice and everything. I mean, what's it mean to put that back on and be practicing back out there on the court again?
It means everything, man. All the memories come back, all the blood, sweat, and tears in the Ox. It means everything in the world. So we're gonna continue with this training camp and put our best foot forward for the TBT and to go down to the pit and get the first win.
What do you think of your chances? You like how the team looks?
We got a good team. I think we got a team where everybody's gonna play together. We don't got I don't think players that's gonna just try to go out and get their off. So, and being alumni, we're playing for we're playing for the city and playing for wearing these orange and blue. So. We got a good team, and we got some hard workers. We all came from we were hard workers. Derek was MVP and all that, but the rest of us, we know how to play together, and I think that's going to help us in this.
Well, there he is, Thomas Broplay. And I know you have a little more information on when they're playing, Jay, and who they're playing. And if it's, I know at one point it was a chance it could get on TV. It sounds like ESPN3. Which at least is free compared to ESPN Plus, I believe. But when is this game?
Yeah, next Monday, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. That first game in the round of 64.
Can I bet on that? I'll be in Vegas. Can I bet on that?
You can bet on a lot in Vegas. I bet you could. And the game will air on ESPN3.
Okay, so that'll at least be free for folks.
There are so many ways that we could really go about this. I feel like I have to mention real quick. Thomas Broklay's had an unreal pro career. He was kind of always a guy that was kind of on the back burner or didn't get as much of the limelight because he played with guys like Derek Marks and Anthony Drimmick and guys that were just a little more high profile due to the fact they were higher volume scorers, right? Thomas Broplay, he is having an awesome pro career. And this last year, playing in a really good league in Spain, they won, and now they're getting promoted up to the top division. So it's cool to see. And another thing about this, these guys deserve some credit too, in the sense that they really are doing this for the love of the game that they have and their passion for Boise State. A lot of the guys funded their own way here to get this thing off the ground this year, and they're hoping they can kind of fundraise money to cover some expenses in the future. But I just think that's cool. That they're putting their money where their mouth is. This means a lot to them.
There is a happy hour social today, I believe, from 3 to 6 at Western Proper downtown. If you want to go downtown to Western Proper from 3 to 6, you can meet the players and get some pictures and autographs. And there's going to be some other alumni there as well as kind of a varsity B program. So head on down to Western Proper 3 to 6 today if you want to meet up with those guys and meet them. And then there is a GoFundMe page also, I believe, if you're able to help contribute. They're still trying to get a little bit more money to help ease the burden of the hotel room costs and some of the things getting down there to Albuquerque.
Yeah, and I think, as they push this thing forward, BJ, it'd be good for them to raise a little additional money. And if I guess what I mean by when I say that is it could help them attract and other alumni that aren't on the team this year. Thomas Broplay says that they want to fill out a full 10-man roster next year. And this year they have the minimum requirement, 7 alumni from Boise State, and they have 3 additional players to help fill out their 10-person roster. But, they want to be a full 10-man Boise State team next year, and additional funds would certainly help that. Maybe it'd be enough to fly a certain player over from Australia that on social media last week said that he would love to play in it in the future. Things like that are probably on the table, and it would be cool.
Yeah, I get it. I know a lot of people would have liked to have seen him, James Webb, but it's not something where Boise State or somebody in particular is picking which players they can pay for or whatever. A lot of this guys wanting to. So, Anthony, you wanted to play? Well, pay your way and come play. It goes both ways. So I get it. It would have been cool if he was there. I don't know if he was I didn't see the tweet or whatever, if he was saying that in a way where he wished that they had picked him or paid for him.
I think, yeah, I don't think it was anything.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, I would have loved. I mean, I was talking to Johnny about this. This is nothing against this group, but this is not the best 10-man roster of former players you could get right now of this group. You would certainly have James Webb in there. You would certainly have Drimmick in there. And so, yeah, it's the first year you're getting it off the ground. And yes, if it's in Boise next year, I think you have a potential for a star-studded roster, and that could be a lot of fun. So we'll be looking out for that. Monday's show, I will play a few more of those interviews in advance of the game on Monday. I talked to Derek Marks, also talked to Ryan Watkins. So we'll hear both of those on Monday, and you talked to them as well.
Yeah, I wanted to add one more thing about Derek that I thought was just kind of funny, and I posted a little quick clip of this on social media. But I know that there was kind of a cool storyline a couple years ago that he got his degree, which meant a lot to him. Years after leaving Boise State, he went back and he finished his degree. But he also said he never got the appropriate rings for their trips to the NCAA tournaments. It didn't happen until 2 years ago. After Dayton, he actually got out of town fairly quickly. Leon kind of just sent him kind of the stock rings, which didn't fit. And so 2 years ago, they made sure that he got the right fitted rings. And I just thought that was kind of funny because you're just think of the significance and how much he meant to the program. And then, 5-6 years after he leaves, he's finally getting the right rings. It goes to show you Derek Marks too, man. That guy, he probably didn't really care about the bling. He just wanted to win ball games.
He's had a heck of a career overseas as well. You mentioned pro play, and I do want to move on, but I mean, he had a great career, and we both talked to him. He was stuck in, I think, Italy during the pandemic, and there's a lot of stuff going on, but he's had a heck of a career. Watkins has all these guys, and so pretty cool to see. And Zach Price chiming in that wants a Bronco plus $50,000 to win it all. So I could put $100 down and win $50,000. And take a year off from Bronco Nation News if
there you go.
They can win it also. I don't know if I would go that far, but I might try to see what the odds are in the first game at least on Monday.
Yeah,
they probably have. I'm sure that my spot over at Circa, which is claim to fame the biggest sports book in the world, probably will have odds on that.
This is a single elimination tournament.
It is, yes,
and that's worth. I mean, this is we joke around about winning the whole thing. Yeah, that's fine, but for me, I really think it's about winning one game. And if you win 2 games, by the way, Derek, this is what Derek said. If you win 2 games, you are guaranteed a spot in the following year.
Or if you host, I think you are too. So they're in a good spot. But yeah, they can take away all doubt if they can do that. How about that? I could be in the Circa pool on Monday watching Boise State alumni play with money on the line. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought of that till just now. I'm excited about that now. That'll be who says there's no sports going on in Vegas this week. I want to tell you about a couple things before we switch to football talk. Boise Dentistry Co.com, Dr. Chris Green, locations across the Treasure Valley, full family dentistry. They've got a great, friendly staff and all the newest technology. And again, I say it often, but if you can get my kids to smile like that, you must be doing something right. So appreciate Dr. Miner, and check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. United Commercial Insurance, they can at least say they got one deal from us, Jay, because I have signed up with United Commercial Insurance. I kid, but I am the newest client of United Commercial Insurance. Give them a call, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. We now have workers' comp insurance, some of the other insurance that we're working on with them now that we have some official part-time employees and things, and we continue to build Bronco Nation News. So they were very easy to work with. Just communicated mostly via email, and it was quick and easy. And in a couple of days, I had workers' comp insurance up and rolling. So check them out. Give them a call, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. You can ask for Brandon. Tell him you heard it on Bronco. You own a business or help with the business, the insurance of your business. They make business insurance easy at United Commercial Insurance. We thank Ridley's Family Markets as well. ShopRidleys.com. Check them out. 13 Idaho locations. If you're going up to McCall, they've got the location there for the weekend. I go to the Cuno location often. I know the Middleton and Star, Weiser locations in the Treasure Valley get frequented often as well. So check them out. They got the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com. And last but not least, at least for right now, the blueandorangestore.com. We appreciate their support. Free shipping on any order over $40 if you check out the blueandorangestore.com. They got all the new coaches apparel, the on-field authentic Nike gear, all that great stuff. You can go to the Boise Town Square Mall next to Pro Image and check it out in person. Or again, if you're not in the Treasure Valley, the .com, and you can get free shipping on any order over $40. Jay, as we do always, it takes us 20 minutes to get to our main topic of the day here. We used to do a 2-hour radio show together, and I felt like there were often times where we were struggling to fill 2 hours, but not on these shows, man. 30 minutes goes by fast. I just looked up. I'm like, oh, we got 10 minutes left, and we haven't gotten to what I thought would take 20 to 25 minutes of the discussion. But I do want to talk very quickly about the Mountain West announcing the new schedule rotation starting in 2023. They ripped up the previous one, as they said they would. They've got a new model where you're going to play 2 teams all 3 years, and then every other team, it looks like you're playing twice. There was some, I don't know if angst is the right word, but confusion, I guess, or surprise on social media when they announced New Mexico and Utah State as the 2 teams that Boise State will be guaranteed to play. Each of the 3, again, you play the other teams, it looks like twice, so it's not a huge difference. But next year in 2023, Boise State gets San Diego State. That's the wrong one. Air Force, New Mexico, Wyoming, and San Jose at home. Now you're playing at Air Force, at Wyoming, and at New Mexico anyway this year, so you would have had 3 of those 4 at home anyway. And then you're getting San Jose State at home instead of one of the other teams from the other side. And then you go to San Diego State, Fresno, Utah State, and Colorado State next year. So that's the first change where you would have not played San Diego State or Fresno State next year. They add that back in next year. And then so next year, I think, pretty tough schedule, at least on the road, but it eases way up in 2024. You don't play Air Force, which will be a little odd, and then you don't play San Diego State and Fresno State. But this is a 3-year arrangement. Boise State does go to Hawaii in 2024, as well as New Mexico, San Jose, and Wyoming. But what do you make of the new 3-year rotation? They're not calling it rivals. They're just calling it guaranteed games. But the New Mexico one was a little surprising.
I thought the New Mexico one was a little surprising. But if you kind of look at like the other matchups for everyone else throughout the conference, BJ, it almost feels like New Mexico was a little bit of an odd man out. Like when it comes to Fresno State, it makes sense to pair them with Nevada and San Jose State, right? Like you maybe could have swapped San Jose State for New Mexico and put San Jose State with Boise, but it just doesn't make as much sense. It just kind of feels like Logan's close to Boise State. Okay, that makes sense. And then the kind of somewhat the odd man out was New Mexico. I will say this: I got a little bit of a conspiracy theory for you.
Let's have it.
When Boise State plays in the Mountain West Conference Championship game, the data shows that the viewership goes up. I mean, there's data that shows that. And by doing this, I'm not saying that you make Boise State's path a little easier by putting New Mexico on it, but New Mexico, when's the last time they did anything? They won like 9 games in 2015, maybe. But outside of that, the program hasn't been.
And if you think it's going to be Fresno or San Diego on the other side, at least for the 1 year, you're not guaranteeing one of those teams a loss.
So it just feels like maybe there was a little bit of posturing here to make sure that maybe your best brands are at the top of the division playing for the Mountain West Championship, at the end of the year. And anything can happen. But it just feels like maybe that had a little something to do with it. And then on top of that, coaches don't love to play a team twice in a year, So if it is a school like San Diego State or Fresno State, I mean, those are teams that could be Boise State would very well likely face off with in the Mountain West Conference Championship game. So maybe you question why make one of those the regularly scheduled games. I don't know. I get some of the rationale. But it is a little bit of a lackluster punch on Boise State's schedule, knowing that Mexico's one of those guarantees.
And you could really say the same about Utah State too. I mean, I get it because of the location and the proximity, and they've got they've played every year for a while now. But I don't think either one of those teams would have been in the top 3 or 4 of teams. We would have thought San Diego State, Fresno State, Nevada probably would have been the 3 that I would have thought. But it is what it is. And by the way, it does under the previous format, it was every 4 years. You'd play basically one road game you'd be guaranteed one road game against every team in the league every 4 years. Now that comes down to 3. So the way they work it out is now in this 3-year cycle, you're guaranteed to play everybody at least once home and once road. And then you have those 2 teams that you play all 3.
Yeah. I will say this, like the old schedule, you could go quite a bit of time without playing a school like San Diego State. And so while like a school like San Diego State isn't guaranteed on Boise State's schedule every year, every other year, every 3 years, you're probably going to see San Diego State on there, where in the past, like you could go technically 4 years without that game.
Yep. Yep, and they did make a nice job too, where they didn't have any repeats of this year. I think when Boise State joined the Mountain West, they had to play Air Force, I think 2 years in a row on the road or something, or 2 years in a row at home. But they were able to have no repeat matchups in the same location from this year. Overall, I think it's nice. And again, it's a 3-year deal, but who knows if a team leaves the conference before then? I mean, the whole thing could get ripped up, and who knows what's going to happen. I want to talk Hank Bachmeier in our last couple of minutes. If you want to see that, by the way, Jay's tweeted it out. I've tweeted it out. You can find it all over social media or KTVB.com. Bronco Nation News has it as well. So if you want to get the exact full rotation and the schedule moving forward. I do want to thank all of our great sponsors, Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out. TCS, if you're looking to start a new career change, a fresh start, think about truck driving. They can give you all the permits, all the overweight permits, and all the DOT number, all the stuff you need to get out there towing that first load. It's a local company based here in the Treasure Valley. I'm actually golfing with the owner, Jeff Miner, today, so looking forward to that. You can check them out. Great supporters of the local sports teams in Boise State athletics, and you can check them out, tcstranscomservice.com for more information, and they can take you every step of the way if you're trying to get into the trucking industry. Lithia Ford, another sponsor, Jay, unfortunately, that I'm going to be having to use here pretty soon, buying a new vehicle. The truck is going out of its last leg here, so I'll be purchasing a new vehicle from Lithia Ford of Boise here in the near future. But you can do it online and look for their inventory, or go check them out on Fairview Avenue. Compare, shop, finance. You can do it all online at lithiafordboise.com. We thank Idaho Central Credit Union as well. ICCU.com. We got some cool announcements in the works for football season for our pregame show. Thanks to Mr. Tust having the exclusive rights inside the stadium to live stream. We'll be outside the stadium, but we got some cool stuff we're working on with ICCU. Check them out. All your personal and business banking needs, the official bank of Bronco Nation News, ICCU.com. And, of course, our title sponsor, rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. If you're looking to, change the look of that patio, change the look of your garage, your basement, rowpaint.com, their famous concrete coating. It's 4 times stronger than epoxy. We're a customer multiple times with them, and we're very happy. And I'm not just BSing you with all my sponsors, really, but certainly rowpaint.com. When I tell you it's a game changer, it truly is. So it's worth every penny. Check them out, roepaint.com. And if you need, interior, exterior, residential painting, they can do industrial, commercial, any kind of painting. They're your guys. So check them out. Give them a call. Tell them you heard about it on Bronco Nation News. Okay, Hank Bachmeier, there was kind of a firestorm the last couple of days. Jay, I wanted to touch on this before we get out of here. We first found out that he was not going to media days. Some of our friends in the media, jumped on that and like to really stir up the controversy. I thought of it as nothing other than, that's kind of what Boise State has done in the past. Send the lineman that you're not worried about saying something. Not to say Hank Bachmeier would have come out and ripped somebody or said something controversial. I think Hank Bachmeier would have done a great job at media days. He would have been great, and I think other media members from around the league would have enjoyed chatting with him and talking to him, and I think Hank Bachmeier would have been great. And I'll say that John Ojukwu, I think, will do fine too. He's a nice guy, local kid, personal guy. So when I say this about Hank Bachmeier, it has nothing to do with John Ojukwu and any disrespect there or not uneasiness or unhappiness that he's coming. He'll be fine. I just think your 4-year starter at quarterback for a team that's looking to build some positive momentum coming off a 7-5 season, trying to get back in the national conversation. I think your 4-year starter at quarterback probably would have been a little better for you at media days. You do see Logan Bonner and Jake Hayner, the 2 quarterbacks that are probably ahead of Bachmeier or in the conversation with him for top Mountain West quarterbacks. They both will be at media days, so they're both going to be hyping up and having people ask questions about them and their team. And Hank Bachmeier will be back in Boise during that time. So I am personally a little disappointed. I like Hank. Like I said, I like John. He'll do great. But it is kind of the Boise State way, so to speak, to send the safer. We've had John Molchon, we've had Charles Leno. They've done this before, where there may have been a skill player that you could have made an argument for, but they're going to send the guy that probably is going to be the quieter, safer pick, and that certainly is John. But for me, that's why it happened. There may have been some voting in terms of captains or other reasons as well, but I don't think this was Hank Bachmeier saying, don't send me. I don't want any distractions. I don't want to answer tough questions about my play the last couple of years. I don't think this was Boise State wanting Hank Bachmeier to stay focused and not have him deal with distractions or have to answer tough questions from media or Hank Bachmeier being in the doghouse. I think it was what I said it was, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll find out, but what are you looking at?
You're going off here.
Oh, I just thought there was a weird narrative push the last couple of days, and we don't know what's going on. We don't know behind the scenes what's going on. You throw in the fact that he wasn't listed on the ballot, which, by the way, I confirmed with Boise State. I know you have as well. Is like it or hate it, that's Boise State's policy. If you didn't at least get honorable mention the year before, they're not going to put you on the ballot this year. I don't know if I agree with that, but when he was left off the ballot and not going to media days, a lot of people are wondering if there's some conspiracy theory with Hank, if he's in the doghouse, if he's not on the team. I don't think it's any of that. I think it was just the two reasons that we said. And I just think that, probably needed to be out there.
I hear you. I hear you. And the optics of this, I think it's funny for some, but Boise State has long been like this, man. They really have. I think Joe Kellogg, an offensive lineman, went to Mountain West Media Days one time, like early when I was here. They don't make decisions on Mountain West. They don't sit down and say, okay, who's the best interview? They don't sit down and say, okay, Hank Bachmeier, man, great interview. They don't sit down and say that and be like, okay, send him to Vegas. They've never done that. Like, they've never done that. If it's like a year last year where it's coincidental, where Shaq's your team captain and he's also awesome with media, then, the stars align. But they've never really made decisions based off like that. As you said, when it comes to preseason ballots, they're different than every other team in the league. I think there were, 6 or 7 guys nominated for Defensive Player of the Year, the preseason award in the Mountain West this year. San Jose State had 3 of them. So I mean, it's just things like that where there are teams around the league that will throw just about anybody that they can not even reasonably justify, in any way, shape, or form justify being up for a preseason award. They will throw them on these ballots. Boise State's definitely operated over time with a much higher standard. Whether that's right, wrong, I'll let you at home decide. That's whatever. But Boise State has simply operated with a different standard when it comes to these preseason type of awards and who they send to Mountain West Media Day for that matter.
And we don't know what's going on. We're not in the building. I mean, maybe there is something going on. Who knows? But I think to connect the dots to some of that is probably not fair at this point. And we'll ask you. Huh?
We talked with Hank at the end of spring ball.
Yep. From spring golfing with Matlock and Steph Cobbs in like a 2-on-2 matchup. I mean, he seems like it's not like he's, not on the roster anymore or whatever. I don't know. There was some crazy stuff thrown out there, but I don't see any correlation. I think it was just Boise State, and I don't mean this negatively, but Boise State being Boise State. Let's send the linemen. Let's send, they're the only team, by the way, sending 2 linemen to media days as well. You've got at least 1 skill position player or a linebacker, on every other team in the league. So it is what it is. John will be fine. Looking forward to it. Would have enjoyed the one-on-one time with Hank. I think he would have killed it in the interviews, but John will be fine. John will be good. Scott Matlock will be great, I think, as well. I mean, you could have made an argument for Skinner or Jones. I think would be the other 2 main guys probably for the defense. Maybe Zeke Noah. But I think Scott Matlock's a good choice, and he'll do good on defense as well. So we'll be down there next week, traveling down Tuesday, I believe, and I'm sure you'll be live at 10 on KTVB. That's always got to be fun. Drive 9 hours and then do a live shot.
It's as fun as it sounds, brother.
And then driving back 9 hours Friday and going live on the news as well. I don't know how you do a heck of a job over there. And you and Will Hall will both have live reports all week. But we will talk Wednesday morning. Commissioner Thompson talks at 8. So we're going to be an hour later next week on Wednesday from Media Days. We'll get the Commissioner Thompson address, which will give us some stuff to talk about with what he talked about at the address with realignment and all that. We'll have the predicted order of finish out to talk about that. So we'll kick off Media Days. It'll be 10 a.m. in Boise next Wednesday, and Jay will join me both days. Thursday will be the normal 9 a.m. time. So both days at Media Days, Wednesday and Thursday, Jay and I will have a live morning show for you, and then we'll both have content on our various channels throughout the day. So, Jay, appreciate your time, man. Have a good weekend, and we will see you in Vegas next week.
Sounds great, bud. Safe travels.
There he is, Jay Tust, KTVB Sports Director. Check him out on the various newscasts on KTVB News Channel 7 throughout the weekend. And again, Jay and I will be in Las Vegas next week, Wednesday and Thursday with live shows. Have a great weekend, folks. If anything breaks before, we'll be back. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.